Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at the National Health Insurance Authority for our monthly beneficiary educational session. This afternoon, we are privileged to gather to meet to discuss the topic financial wellness. And this topic will be presented by Mr. Byron Miller, who serves in the capacity of General Manager at the Teachers and Salaried Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And so, who are we at the National Health Insurance Authority? Our vision statement speaks to the fact that we are leading the way in providing access to affordable quality health care that Bahamians deserve. Our mission statement: we are transforming the healthcare system upon which the future well-being of Bahamians depend by putting patients at the center of every decision that we make. Our core values speak to us being passionate about bringing universal healthcare to Bahamians. We are progressive and relentless in expanding access to quality healthcare through progressive solutions supported by technology. Partnership is another core value, and we are dedicated to delivering affordable healthcare through partnerships. Integrity. We are committed to doing business with integrity, accountability, transparency, and sincerity. And respect. We honor our beneficiaries by providing care and respect in all aspects of our service. And so, a part of the NHI Bahamas Wellness Program, our focus is on three tenets. We're focusing on creating healthier communities through incorporating exercise and physical activity into our daily routine and encouraging Bahamians, our beneficiaries, and the public at large to do the same. We also want our beneficiaries and the public at large to understand that food should be your medicine and that you should also focus on your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And so, where are we now in the NHI Bahamas program? Since our inception in 2017, we have worked very hard and diligently on delivering the vision of advancing the path to universal healthcare coverage. And so, our enrollment growth within the last 8 years speaks to over 160,000 plus Bahamians, citizens, and residents are enrolled in the program. Our demographics is very diverse. And so we've enrolled Bahamians and legal residents from more than 17 islands. And this demographic breakup includes 7,000 plus Bahamians under the age of 5, more than 30,000 school-age children, and they make up some of our pediatric population, and 20,000 plus over the age of 65. And we call this population our precious pearls. 96% of those beneficiaries surveyed have informed us that they are satisfied with the service that they are receiving as a result of their enrollment in the NHI Bahamas program. We are currently in partnership with 139 physicians from 88 primary care facilities across 8 islands. And we are also in partnership with 14 major labs across 21 locations. And so our digitally enabled care provides the opportunity for our beneficiaries to receive access to their electronic health records, where the telehealth feature is enabled for applicable visits. And so, what is covered under the NHI Bahamas program? General physician visits, your annual physical, maternity care, pediatric care, periodic health assessments, laboratory testing, vaccines and immunizations, cancer screenings, particularly the PSA test and PAP for men, and the pap smear test for females, HIV/AIDS screening, as well as chronic disease management. This afternoon, we are happy to partner with the Teachers and Salaried Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited in the person of Mr. Byron Miller, who is representing the Cooperative Credit Union Limited. He is the general manager and a visionary leader with over 38 years of experience in the financial services industry. He serves as the general manager of the TSW CCUL, or the Teachers Credit Union, with a career rooted in excellence, integrity, and service. His professional journey spans private banking, commercial banking, and the credit union sector, giving him a rare and well rounded perspective on financial leadership. Throughout his career, he has earned numerous accolades in finance. This is a reflection not only of his expertise, but also of his commitment to ethical leadership and meaningful impact. He is known for leading with purpose, empowering teams, strengthening communities, and advancing the credit union's mission through innovation, collaboration, and member focused growth. As general manager, he inspires trust and accountability while fostering a culture of excellence, resilience, and continuous improvement. His leadership is guided by the belief that strong financial institutions are built on people, values, and service. Good afternoon. This afternoon, Mr. Miller will speak to us on the topic financial wellness. And as Mr. Miller is presenting, should you have any questions for him, we welcome you to place those questions in the chat feature found on the Zoom app, as well as on the Facebook app. And during the question answer period, we will read those questions to Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, you are welcome, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Let me turn on my camera so that you can see me and know that I am a live human being and not an AI generated feature. So much of the world is in a tailspin now because of AI, both good and bad. But this is not an AI generated image. This is me in person. I am pleased to be here with you today to be sharing on a very important topic, financial wellness. We take that very idea seriously in our line of business, not only from a financial standpoint, but from a personal standpoint, having accountability for the well being of persons who are our members and our clients. What we do not take lightly is the importance of every individual in the entire sequence of things, because all individuals are tightly woven into the tapestry or the fabric of our national culture, of our national industries, and our national economy. And so getting our people, Bahamians, to understand the value and the importance of financial literacy is critical and a number one priority for us, our Teachers and Salaried Workers Cooperative Credit Union. While we recognize that individuals will receive information and perhaps do two things with it, they will either accept it or reject it. We're hoping today that our time spent with you will allow you and empower you to take this information, implement it into your daily life, and execute the strategies that you come up with today. With that said, I would like to start sharing my screen. I'm hoping that you have sight of it. Are you able to see?
Yes, we can see the slides, Mr. Miller.
You can see. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see what's happening now because my notes are not coming up. Okay. Hold a minute as I try to troubleshoot. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Okay, so we're here today for the core reason of sharing with you key strategies and tactics that you as an individual can employ or adopt into your life to improve your financial well-being. Just as we have physical well-being, we have financial well-being. I'm always reminded of a story that I heard years ago where there was a financial seminar going on, and Zig Ziglar, a world-renowned speaker and trainer, was conducting the seminar. And an elderly lady came up to him after the seminar and said to him, "You young people are always concerned about one thing, money, money, money." She said, "You know, money isn't everything." And he quickly agreed with her because out of respect, he did not want her to feel as though he was rejecting her. What he said in return was astounding. He said, "While money isn't everything, it ranks up there with oxygen." And so that's a powerful story for us to start off with in terms of putting money into context. While we may have spiritual beliefs and concepts of money and how money is to be handled, what we must settle on is the fact that money is universal and it is identified and understood by all. So financial wellness affects everyone, regardless of income, profession, or stage of life. Whether you are managing daily expenses, saving for education, planning for retirement, or reducing debt, the way we handle money directly impacts on our overall well-being. Financial wellness is not simply having money in the bank. It is about having the knowledge, skills, and the confidence to manage money wisely so that you can meet your current needs while preparing for future goals. So in today's session, we will explore the practical financial habits that support financial wellness. These include budgeting, saving consistently, managing debt responsibly, and protecting ourselves and our families through financial safeguards such as insurance. And I know a lot of us don't like to hear that word insurance, but there's value. And if you'd listen in, you'd see just how important insurance is in hedging risk in the future. So today we're focusing on that. And today's goal, my goal for you, is to leave you with a clearer understanding of financial wellness and be equipped with practical strategies that can apply in your financial life to reduce stress. And we all could do with that. I know that for sure. That would improve security and build long-term stability. So now that we have understood and we have clarified our reason for today's session, we want to talk for a moment about what is financial wellness. Financial wellness simply means having control of your daily finances while preparing for future financial needs. We don't know what tomorrow holds, and so we want to protect ourselves today and tomorrow on a best efforts basis. So this strategy involves managing your income, no matter what the level of income is, whether it is an NIB pension, whether it is a private pension, whether it is a job with a salary or a wage, whatever it is, money's coming into you is considered income. And so we want you to have an understanding that wellness involves managing income, expenses, that's outflow, savings, and debt. When individuals have what we term as good financial wellness, they can pay bills on time, manage expenses, and also save for unexpected events. Another trait of good financial wellness is planning for important life goals such as education, home ownership, starting a business, or retirement. So financial wellness is not about being wealthy. And I want to dispel that myth now. You don't have to be rich to be financially well. You just have to have the skill and the competence to manage the monies that come your way for your benefit. Financial wellness instead is about stability, confidence, and feeling secure about your financial situation. So why does financial wellness matter? You may say, Miller, you guys are always out there. My pay is just a few dollars a month, and I don't have anything left at the end of the day. I am stressed out to high heaven. And so there's nothing you can tell me because you don't understand the realities of life. The truth is, I do. And I have been there and I have done that. And these things happen. And so my job today is to relate to you through personal experiences and through my knowledge and competence of what financial wellness can achieve for you. It is not too late if you've never considered financial wellness before. It is not too late for you to begin building a wellness plan, which we will discuss in short order. So here are a few realities on why financial wellness matters. Money influences many aspects of our lives, and we all know it. You need money for basically everything. everything. Few things are free, and even the free things are not free. So money influences many aspects of our lives, including stress levels, relationships, productivity, and overall security. How many times we've gone to the doctor and the doctor says, "Oh, your blood pressure is high," and you're saying, "Doc, these bills just piling up." That's a reality, right? And so money impacts on so many different aspects of our lives, our relationships. I have been in the system, the financial system, so long. I have seen where money destroyed marriages. Money destroyed relationships between daughters and mothers, between fathers and sons, between brothers and sisters. So money is powerful, and we have to understand that. Overspending, lack of savings, and excessive debt can create financial stress and make it difficult to cover essential expenses. This stress can also affect mental health, work performance, and family relationships. And we see this so often in the workplace, where persons are coming into work, they're stressed out because the power is off at home. They weren't able to pay their power bill. Water is off. The bill collectors are calling. They are stressed out. The school just put their child out, or they cannot afford lunch or breakfast for their child. These are all of the components of financial distress. And we're going to talk about that today. On the other hand, strong financial habits such as budgeting, that's a word a lot of people don't like to hear, saving regularly, and managing debt. That's another phrase that people don't like to hear, managing debt. Managing it responsibly helps individuals maintain control of their finances, as well as it prepares an individual for expected and unexpected events. Life happens. So over time, these habits build long-term financial stability and confidence if practiced. So let's talk for a moment about financial wellness and the components of it. Financial wellness is built on several important practices or pillars that work together in cohesion to support your financial stability. Budgeting, the first one. Budgeting helps individuals understand their income and expenses. So whatever money you're getting in, coming into you, no matter where it's coming from, all legitimate sources, income coming into you, and it allows you to compare your income to your expenses. When your expenses total more than your income, you are running a deficit. On the reverse, when your income exceeds your expenses for the month, you are ending up with a surplus or extra. So all of that is important, and the terminology is important for us to understand. Deficits and surpluses, because the exercise today is designed to pull you into a surplus position through disciplined budgeting. All right, so budgeting helps individuals understand their income and expenses, allowing them to prioritize, very key word, prioritize, put in order of importance the needs, as well as control spending and allocate money towards savings and the achievement of goals. Savings creates a financial safety net for unexpected expenses such as medical emergencies, and they do happen. You get up at 2 o'clock and you have to rush your son to the emergency room because of asthma. We hear the stories and we know it. So we want to be prepared for it through budgeting. So as you're saving, you're creating a financial net, safety net for unexpected expenses, such as medical expenses, job loss, and that happens. That's a reality. We seem to be losing jobs more today than ever before. And so we move from one job to the next. One job may pay less money than the previous job. And so we have to adjust our budgets. And these are all important components of our financial wellness. Even repairs to your home, repairs to your car. These are all unexpected expenses that you have to be able to save for in order to cover if and when they do arise. Debt management ensures that credit or loans are used responsibly by borrowing within one's means and making payments to avoid financial strain. I know we all like the nice things of life, and there's nothing wrong with that. What is challenging is setting that debt basket so high that we aren't able to keep up with the commitment to pay. So when we default, we end up with another layer of stress. So borrowing responsibly is important, which is why financial institutions are tasked with helping individuals to understand the importance of borrowing and how and why you should borrow in line with what you can safely repay. Financial protections involves using tools such as insurances to safeguard against unexpected events, while also protecting personal financial information from fraud. And that is happening more and more every day. As we go to digital solutions, online mechanisms for ease and convenience, the risk increases. And so you'd want to ensure that you have insurances. And then finally, financial planning helps individuals set clear goals and develop strategies to achieve major life objectives, such as homeownership. That's your biggest goal that you will look to achieve in your lifetime. Education, funding, or retirement, and investments. You would want to have the monies set aside for those. So let's talk about budgeting for a moment. Budgeting is one of the most powerful tools for improving financial wellness. A budget is a simple plan. There's nothing big about it. There's no secret to it. It's a simple plan for how your money will be used over a specific period of time, usually on a month-to-month basis. So we're now in the month of March. Your budget will show on one side your income, and on the other side, your expenses. Creating a budget helps individuals understand how much they earn and how much they spend. Without tracking expenses, it is easy for money to disappear through small purchases or impulse spending. And we know about that. We go into the food store, we know that we only wanted to go in and spend $10. When we're walking out, we're frustrated with ourselves because we spent $50 at the food store. That's overspending. That's impulse buying. A basic budget begins by identifying all of your income, all of it, and listing all of your monthly expenses, such as your mortgage payment or your rent, your utilities. Bear in mind, we have to pay BPL, we have to pay water and sewage, we have to pay the cable bill and the telephone bill, all of those. Food, that's your groceries. Transportation, whether you're catching the public transport, jitneys or buses, or you have your own vehicle, you have to put fuel in there and upkeep the vehicle. And then, of course, the insurances. Expenses can be divided into needs and wants. Needs include essential expenses like housing. We need the roof over our head. Food, healthcare. We do not want to forget healthcare. That is more important today than ever before. And transportation. While our wants include discretionary spending such as dining out or entertainment. You can manage your wants much more readily than you can manage the necessities. Budgeting also ensures that a portion of our income is consistently allocated towards savings and financial goals. You'd recall that a few minutes ago, I spoke to you about surpluses and a deficit. A deficit being your expenses are more than your income. Surplus is your income, the total of your income exceeds the total of your expenses. So when you have a surplus, you create a savings. You do not spend or consume all of your surplus. You allocate a portion of it every month to savings. And that way you are building financial wellness and you are on your way to financial empowerment. So let's talk about Savings and the emergency funds. We've heard it many times before. Our governor of our central bank has said it. Our prime minister has mentioned it in times past. The average Bahamian does not have adequate savings to tide them over in times of adversity, in times of sickness. When that rainy day comes, we don't have the savings capacity to pad us, and so there is additional stress. Savings plays a critical role in financial security because life is unpredictable, and that we know well. We can be driving just out on a Sunday afternoon drive, and somebody comes and mashes us our car from behind, and they don't have any insurance. What now? Then you have your child going to school, you drop them off, they're saying, bye, mom, bye, dad. They're going into school and they slip and fall on the step. And the school calls and says, your child has to be taken to the hospital or the emergency room. Unexpected expenses. And so we need to have a buffer, even if it's a few dollars a month that we're putting aside. We make that a deliberate effort to put aside X amount of dollars, whether it's $10, $25, $50, put it aside in an account that you will not touch. If you feel tempted, do not get an ATM card attached to that account. Put it away from you because that's your financial wellness account. And that is what's going to build your empowerment, financial empowerment, and your health. So without savings, individuals naturally rely on credit cards. They rely on loans, which can lead to additional financial stress and debt. Credit card interest rates are out the roof. They're high, and we know it. But when we look and listen to the challenges that people face, their credit cards are maxed out, and they're making the minimum payment on the credit card. And so each month, the credit card balance isn't going down because that payment is going to interest. And so now the credit card is maxed out, and those persons that typically would have used the credit card to live on no longer have any money on their credit card that they can use. And so life becomes even more difficult, more tenuous. And so we would want to ensure that we are reducing our reliance on credit products, such as a credit card, a high cost credit card product, and loans, and manage our dependency on those things downward. Let's talk about an emergency fund for a moment. An emergency fund is money set aside specifically to handle unexpected situations. Financial experts often recommend saving 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses to provide financial protection against difficult periods. So what am I saying there? You'd recall that I did say to you, your budget is a monthly report card for you, or a monthly summation of your expenses and your income. What you want to do is, over a period of time, accumulate 3 to 6 months worth of savings that can cover your monthly expenses, so that if in the event an unlikely or unforeseen circumstance occurs, you have money. So look at your expenses. If your expenses are $1,000 a month, that means you need $6,000 over a period of time, and you determine that time, but work toward it. Let that be one of your key objectives for the year. I will set aside a rainy day fund so that I have 3 to 6 months of funds available to improve my financial wellness. And that is important for emergency and having emergency funds on hand. We know, and I know as a personal experience, I had to go to doctor's hospital with my son who was having a bad asthma attack. And you know what time it chose to happen? At 2 a.m. in the morning. And so I had to rush him to doctor's hospital as he's heaving for breath, and get him in there and make a payment. And that payment was sizable, but he needed that attention. And luckily, I had the protection, that is, the insurance. And I was able to rely on the health insurance to get him into the hospital and normalized. So we talk about insurances, they're important, but we're talking about those surplus funds as well, which is just as important to your financial well being. So, understanding debt. What is debt? We've heard about it so often. Debt is a common part of many people's financial lives. And when used responsibly, it can support important goals such as education, home ownership, investments, or starting a business. I know we're always often tempted when we have surpluses, we're tempted to use those surpluses to go and do things. And what do we love to do the most? Off to Miami. We love to shop. We are off to Fort Lauderdale, Orlando. We're doing something. But the reality is that you have to manage your debt in line with your income. The old people always said, do not hang your basket beyond your reach. And there is wisdom in that saying. So let's start bringing that basket down. If it's high up and you've gone and placed it really up high, it's not too late to start bringing it down, adjusting it a little lower to your reality where you are now, particularly if you are marching toward the age of 55, 60 years of age, and 65. So we understand that managing debt is important. It can support important goals, as well as it can distract you from important goals if it is uncontrolled. So problems occur when debt is not managed carefully. What you do not want to do is every time a financial institution advertise a loan campaign, be the first one in line to take advantage of that campaign. Because every time you pay interest, that's your wealth leaving you, and it's not going to come back. The only way wealth comes back to you is through that salary, through that pension. That's wealth. And so you have to manage it. So problems occur when debt is not managed carefully. High interest debt, particularly credit card balances, can grow quickly if payments are missed or if only minimum payments are made. And so I encourage my listeners today, resist the urge to make minimum payments. If you find that your credit card debt is sizable, convert it to a cheaper rate loan and pay that loan down to get rid of that large credit card balance. But resist the urge to pay just that $50 payment on your card. Maintaining financial wellness requires responsible borrowing. This means this means that borrowing can be realistically and must be realistically repaid and repayable within the time that is set between you and your banker. You don't want to borrow to where 75, 80% of your income is being paid out in loans, in loan payments. So we want to borrow responsibly, make sure that we can make those payments and make them on time. With discipline and careful planning, loans can be used as a helpful financial tool rather than a financial burden. So, what are the different types of financial accounts? Financial protection helps individuals and families prepare for unexpected events. So, we have health insurance, and our partners, NHI, is here and they're masters in this area. But our financial protection is pegged to health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, identity theft protection, and emergency funds. What are the different types of financial accounts? We have checking accounts, although those are old ideas that are quickly passing away. We have savings accounts, which many of us are comfortable with and aware of. We have credit union accounts. Credit unions are organizations that are nonprofit that cater to the needs of members, individual members coming together to help one another. And we have investment accounts, these are responsible for growing your wealth. And then retirement accounts. That's your long-term objective. When you are retired, you want to have X amount of dollars so that you can live comfortably. So here are a few tips to encourage wellness, financial wellness. So one, improving financial wellness does not require dramatic changes. Small daily habits can have a powerful impact over a period of time. So you don't need to make a massive shift in your budgets, but make a reasonable one. Start shaving away $25, reduce your expenses, shave off $25 from your income to go into your savings. And perhaps in 6 months' time, you can move that to $30. And then in another 6 months' time, you can move that to $50. But start somewhere and be deliberate about it. Creating and following a monthly budget helps individuals understand their spending and align their finances with their priorities. Setting both short-term and long-term financial goals gives money a clear purpose and direction, and you have to direct money. It's a tool. It's an instrument in your hand. Building an emergency fund helps prepare for unexpected expenses, and it reduces reliance on debt. We do know that there will be times when you would need to go out and borrow from a friend, borrow from a family member, borrow from a financial institution. But with this strategy of putting a little of your surplus, if you have it, and if you don't, being deliberate about managing your expenses down so that you can start seeing some surpluses, so that you can save. This is all interconnected. So we need you to manage your expenses down so that your salary will be sufficient to meet your expenses. Continue to manage them down so that you will have a little surplus that you can now start saving. Being mindful of spending and avoiding high interest debt also plays an important role in protecting long-term financial stability. Your budgeting and your deliberate planning today can reduce your stress tomorrow. Your deliberate planning today can reduce your worries tomorrow. We could see fewer divorces, fewer doctor visits, less hypertension pills being prescribed if we just start looking at creating a disciplined methodology around managing our finances. It starts there. So we say money isn't everything. No, it's not. But it sure can do a lot, and it does a lot to us, both from a relationship standpoint, from a well-being standpoint, and from a goal achievement standpoint. So building healthy financial habits. Financial success is rarely the result of a single decision. Instead, it is built through consistent habits practiced over time. We start a habit today, we continue to nurture it, and in 6 months' time, we are in rhythm. That habit is now second nature and it's a part of us. Living within your means allows you to save and prepare for the future rather than constantly struggling to catch up financially. Saving regularly, even in small amounts, gradually builds financial security. So you recall the scenario I just gave you, $25 here, $30 there. Continuing to learn about personal finances and seeking guidance when needed also empowers individuals to make smarter financial choices. And that is what we are about as a credit union. We are about sitting with you and helping you through understanding how you can begin achieving financial wellness by managing what is in your hand. Together, these habits create a strong foundation for lasting financial stability. So, in conclusion, I want to emphasize that financial wellness is a lifelong journey built through the financial decisions we make every day. We can decide that we're going to buy a $10 cup of Starbucks coffee, or we can save that 10 bucks and use our instant coffee at home and put some hazelnut creamer in that, make that the best coffee in the world because you made it. We can decide to start cutting our expenses. Instead of running our air conditioning every day, we cut 3 hours from that and start using it less. And then we begin to see how our money is freed up. The good news about all of this is that meaningful progress does not require major changes overnight. I'm not asking you to go now and change everything now. There is a rhythm. Your finances are following a rhythm that you have developed over a period of years. So now what we're going to do is start changing slightly parts of that rhythm so that you can begin to see changes in your savings and your saving amounts. So you want to start small with consistent actions such as budgeting. Take a piece of paper. Doesn't have to be anything sophisticated. Write down on one side of that paper how much money you earn a month. And on the other side of that paper, write down how much money you're paying out in bills, your fixed bills. I'm not talking about buying lunch every day. That's your wants. You can change that and impact that figure. Write down everything that you cannot impact. Okay, your car note, your mortgage, your rent, school fees, write them all down. All right. If your school fees is paid every 3 months, you divide that by three and put that 1 month figure down on your 1 month budget. And that will help you to see where your money is going. Budgeting establishes controls. And it is important that we have controls or what we call discipline in our daily practices. Savings also builds security, peace of mind. We'd find that our blood pressure goes down. And we are able now to start doing a bit more for ourselves simply by starting a disciplined approach to budgeting. And then lastly, responsible borrowing. Not borrowing $5,000 because we want to take an elaborate vacation, although there is time for that. But if you are one who is challenged and you need to get your life back on track in terms of financial wellness, we want to bring all of these things within context. So as I leave you today, consider starting with one simple habit, just one simple habit, whether it is tracking your spending, opening a savings account that you won't touch, but you will add to or deposit into monthly, or reviewing your current credit arrangements. Some of your loans can be consolidated into one debt with a lower interest rate so that you have more of your money available to you. Consider these things because when all factored together, they give rise to sound, good financial health and wellness. And with that said, I want to thank you for your time today and of course, open to any questions that you may have.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Miller.
Good afternoon.
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation. Um,
Absolutely.
like you would have mentioned, we are going to open the floor for any questions. And so just wanted to place a reminder for those that would have joined us after Mr. Miller would have started his presentation. Should you have any questions for him, we welcome you to place those questions in the chat feature of the app, and we will ask him any questions that you would have placed. I did get a question/comment or request, Mr. Miller, and someone is asking if it's possible for you to share your presentation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a tool and we would want you to have it. What I can do is send it to you. And I don't know if that individual wants to reach out to you and get it by email, but I'd gladly share that with you.
Yes, definitely. And I'll place my email and my telephone contact in the chat
Mm-hmm.
so that they can record it accordingly.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'm checking the chat again. Okay, so we have some persons that are complimenting. Very good and useful presentation. I wish more younger persons would have access to this information. Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Miller. That is very true. Younger persons having more access. So I do want to make mention that here at the National Health Insurance Authority, after these educational sessions, they are recorded, and you can access them for a period of time via our Facebook page, which is NHI Bahamas, and we will also post them on our YouTube channel. And so you can always go on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Our channel is, again, NHI Bahamas, and you'll be able to access previous beneficiary educational sessions as well as future ones. And we also always encourage you to share those recordings with family members and those individuals that you feel would benefit from listening and viewing those sessions. I like the comment that was made about you wish more younger persons would have access to that. And so hopefully, Mr. Miller, that's a little plugged in there for making, probably initiating some type of school program where we can
Well,
promote financial wellness.
well, I'm glad you mentioned that because we are at the heights of that actually. We have already visited three of our high schools, our public high schools, and we have a number of high schools on our list to get to as well. We've been to Doris Johnson several times, and we have partnered with them in terms of getting their seniors to understand what financial literacy is. We've been to R.M. Bailey, C.R. Walker. So we are doing things with our schools that is intended to reshape the mind, reshape the thought process around money management and helping our young people to understand how to get an earlier start than we got and to resist the pitfalls that we experienced.
No, I think that is very important, Mr. Miller. So I definitely commend you for that initiative. I also think it's also important to also include the primary school because we are
Absolutely.
finding out that our younger generation is very wise. And so the things that our parents and grandparents would have said, oh, let's wait until they get older, we can break it down to them and they can understand. And
Yeah.
also they have access now to information via Google. Now you have Chat
Right.
GPT, you have AI. So the information is readily available and accessible to them. It's always
Absolutely.
good to have that human contact where they'll be educated and be able to help make more informed decisions, especially from this financial wellness aspect.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so a question that's been placed in the chat. I enjoyed the session. Can you advise on institutions that we can invest funds in?
Yeah. I would want to resist that as far as it is possible, but let me put it this way. Institutions that aren't profit driven may be a very good option, such as your credit unions, people helping people to help themselves. We know that the interest that is paid on deposits is more than what other entities may be paying. And so the whole idea is to build your savings and also receive the financial counseling that other financial institutions may not offer. So I would stick a plug here and say, consider your credit unions. They are perhaps not as super sophisticated, although sophisticated in its technologies and whatnot to meet your needs. But at the end of the day, three things matter. You want to know that your money is safe and that you're in an environment that is conducive in helping achieve a common vision. And then the third one is that you're able to benefit from the activity of that institution. And so I'd say to you, consider the credit unions, people helping people to help themselves.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Miller.
Mhm.
Another question. Joining the credit union was great due to the nice interest rates. What do you think about it now in terms of savings?
We don't move away from that. Credit unions are safe. Your monies are safe, which is priority number one. And two, the returns. Credit unions are nonprofit. And so that means the money that credit unions make is returned to the members. Now, I always share with my members this one truth. We can only make money if our members borrow from us. And so we need our members to borrow and save. And as you're borrowing and you're saving, you're borrowing at really good interest rates because we're not profit driven, and you're getting better returns on your savings. So the more of our members that borrow, the more monies we have to return to our members because we don't keep the money. We pay it back out to our members. All right. So getting our folks to understand, our members to understand that the more you do, the more you receive. Just like a biblical principle, the more you give, the more you receive. That's
Yeah.
it's built on very basic principles that are enduring.
Okay. So I'll ask this question that we also received on Facebook. Uh, so I know we talked about investment opportunities. I think this person is asking for what places would you recommend for investment opportunities?
I don't want to give a name.
You want to give a name? Yes.
I don't want, but I would say Google, and look for investment houses in the Bahamas, and feel free to give them a call and have a discussion. All right,
Mhm.
because they're in the business of investing money, and many of them want to make the best decision for you and on your behalf because they want to protect the image of their company. So I'd say Google. There are a few notable names that will pop up. Give them
Mhm.
a call and have a conversation.
Okay. What about, so I'll take another approach to that question. Would there be like, I guess, a best criteria or standard as it relates to investment opportunities that you would look for when you're seeking out companies?
I would, if you're not a professional in terms of investing, I would say speak with a professional, a company that has a group of professionals employed that can help you with that. What you don't want to do is run out and start taking your hard-earned dollars and investing it in businesses and companies that you don't understand. So you
Mhm.
let those professionals that have an understanding of those businesses do that heavy lifting for you. They will simply take your funds, invest it, give you statements showing you where your money is and the return that you're receiving. That way, you don't have to have any measured degree of competence in that industry. Somebody who works with the company that's handling the investments would, and they can invest those funds for you and allow you to track your funds and see how your investment is growing so that you
Okay.
can, and as you're feeling more inspired, feeling more confident, you can now say, okay, I'll add an additional $500 to my portfolio or $1,000, to get things really ramped up.
All right, Mr. Miller. Um, Another question, buying government stocks, is this a good investment?
Absolutely. I'll never say no to our government. I have confidence in our government. We have a very good country. The Bahamas' earnings or salary or earnings per capita is the third highest in this part of the world. So it tells you that our government is doing something right. And so buying our government debt that's sovereign debt. That's you funding the government at a premium. The government pays you back a premium. Your money is safe. I think that's an excellent vehicle for good return.
All right. And someone is also agreeing with you in the chat. The more you buy, the more you are paid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yes. Well, I
Correct.
think that may have been the last of our questions.
Good.
Mr. Miller, one thing I noticed that you omitted from your presentation was your business card.
Mhm.
But we would have mentioned that Mr. Miller is the general manager at Teachers
That's
Credit
right.
Union. And so you are welcome to Google them to get their contact information and reach out to Mr. Miller and his team. Um, this is the final question. Very informative advice. How different would your advice be for retired persons with fixed income?
Well, you would recall I said whether you have a pension or a salary, the fact is that is wealth coming into you. Your pension is lower, no doubt, than your salary would have been when you were working. But through prudent management of your expenses, you can actually realize surpluses even on your pension. Now, it will be important. One, debt management at the time that you're earning a pension is critical. You need to manage debt and expenses. Where you can reduce or shave off on those expenses, I encourage you to do so. But we understand also there's only so much shaving you can do. And with inflation, I think inflation is somewhere around 6%. And I know we do have some concerns coming out of the war, the current war. We can, and there are going to be some things that we cannot control. We have to understand that some scenarios are going to be gas at the pumps, for example. That's beyond our control, the fuel prices. And so we'd want to be as deliberate in reducing our expenses as far as it is humanly possible. One thing I always say with my kids, I'll tell them, turn the light switches off. We switch out the light bulb so I can reduce my power bill, and drive less so that I'm not consuming as much fuel um, while I'm in this particular state. So these are the very practical things that we want to start doing. We can reduce expenses. All right. If you have a loan and you're on pension, go in and renegotiate your interest rate. All right. Speak with the manager if necessary, reduce your interest rate as best as possible so that a little more is left to you at the end of the day. That's human. That's humane. All right. And so I want to stick that little note here as well that credit unions tend to be, we are, we feel our people, we feel our members, and we know where our members are. So we want to bring relief and to help wherever we can. All right. So we recognize that we have persons that are on pension, persons that are working and earning a salary, but the concept remains the same. I have income outflow. We want to manage that outflow so that we have sufficient of that income left for us to enjoy. I think you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I was quite unaware.
Yeah.
But the final question would be, where do we purchase government stocks?
Through the Central Bank of the Bahamas.
Okay. All right. All right, Mr. Miller. So on behalf of the National Health Insurance Authority, we want to thank you for, I think she may still be on. Cece, are you there? I was going to proceed with the vote of thanks, but I see that she's still on, our Director of Facilities, Wellness, and HR.
I am. Hello, let me see. Let me see if you can see my face.
There
My
you are.
my neighbor. Hello, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
How are
Hello,
you?
Mrs. LaFleur. How are you?
I'm well. So
Good,
good to see
good.
you virtually.
It's
I haven't
always a
seen you
pleasure.
live in a
Right.
minute.
In a minute.
But just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm going to start with a small joke in that when you were speaking, you're talking about going into the grocery store with $25 and then you've overspent by 50. Are you sure that's not inflation versus us getting food is a luxury, Mr. Miller. It's a
It is.
luxury.
It is, isn't it? Oh my
I,
goodness.
I've learned a long time ago never to go in hungry because certainly
Yeah,
you overspend.
you
But
overspend.
you're right. Trying to stick to
Mhm.
that budget. I when I first got married, I say to my husband, don't ever say the B word. Don't ever say the B word. And he thought I meant something else versus budget. I was like, I don't like
Right.
that word, but it's necessary. It's necessary. You know what? You had me. You grabbed me at the very beginning, and I had to take a screenshot of it. So why financial wellness matters. With these 5 steps, if I don't even understand how anyone can say no, right? Reduces stress. Who doesn't want to do that? Improves quality of life. Who would say no to improving quality of life? Helps prepare for emergencies. No, I don't need to prepare for that. Enables long-term financial stability. Stability is it's so critical, right? Versus just the now. We have to think beyond just the now. And then supports retirement readiness, especially for those of us who are mature and we're there very soon. It certainly is critical. So as soon as you started and you said why it matters, that grabbed me. It
Mhm.
matters. I don't think anyone can say no to any of those 5 factors. And you certainly, educated us on how we can certainly, implement this into our lives, small steps. I think you're saying $25 a month, whatever you can put it aside, pretend like it doesn't exist. I have my son just graduated from college a year ago, and I told him, I said, immediately sign up for the 401k, immediately. Don't wait, because when you don't see the money from the beginning, you never know you've missed it. And then, many years later, like, wow, this has really grown. So that also dovetails into catching persons when they're younger.
Mhm.
Because later in life, you stated it's never too late, but it gets to be a challenge, certainly if you don't begin as soon as you can. So, Mr. Miller, thank you, thank you, thank you for your time. Thank you for definitely sharing with us both personal experiences and your expertise. This was certainly a great session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. LaFleur.
And I do have to dial off, so I'm in another
Yes.
meeting, but thank you.
Okay.
See you
Take
soon.
care. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Chandra, I know you have some closeout comments. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And so we're wrapping up our session for this afternoon. So tomorrow we wish to invite all of you that are listening to us to our monthly community fitness workout. It is complimentary, and this month we will be partnering with the National Insurance Board. And so our Power Hour workout will be held at their headquarters located on Blue Hill Road and Jumbe Village. And the workout is from 6 to 7 p.m. It will be led by group fitness instructor Brittany Trico from Spin Drip Studios. She'll be taking us through a muscle drip fitness session. And so we encourage you to bring exercise mat or towel, as well as a pair of dumbbells. If you don't have a pair of dumbbells, you can bring 2 weighted water bottles, either fill them with water or sand. If you have either, still come, because you're still able to get a workout in. And so we would encourage you to also bring your family members and friends. We want to create healthy communities. And so in creating healthier communities, that also has to do with creating healthy families, creating healthy workplaces, healthy civic organizations, healthy friends. And so bring someone with you so that we can create these healthier communities together. We want to encourage you to save the date for our first farmers market for the year, which will be held next week, Friday, March 27th from 12 to 3 p.m. right here at in our courtyard. We are located on East Street and Purpose Way, right next to the Teachers Credit Union. So if you bank with the Teachers Credit Union or you frequent and pass them on the highway, we are in the same complex. So come on down, stop on by and support our local Bahamian businesses, our small businesses. And so we're on to a final and an important discussion as it relates to the NHI Bahamas program. As you are aware, one service that is covered through the NHI Bahamas is your annual wellness visit. And so why are your annual physical exams? Why are they important? Why do they matter? And before I go into that, I have a question, and I actually have a prize for the first person that places the answer in the chat. Me, that's the answer to the question. The question is, have you completed your annual wellness visit for the year? The first person that answers that question is going to get a prize. Oh, wow. So we have Mrs. Knowles. You would have won a prize. So Mrs. Knowles, please get in contact with me and I'll get your gift to you. Mrs. Knowles is also a representative from the Teachers Credit Union. But why do your annual physical exams matter? It's a part of preventative care. A regular checkups would help you to identify any health problems early. Prevention is better than cure. It also provides timely intervention, which seeks to lead to better outcomes. The earlier we capture any diseases or any illnesses in our bodies, the better chances we have at healing ourselves and treating them so that it doesn't cause us a long-term issue. And then you also have access to personalized health advice. Your doctor can offer tailored dietary recommendations, exercise, as well as lifestyle behavioral changes based on your current health status. And then finally, you want to be able to build a medical history, right? So consistent visits with your healthcare provider would allow you to track changes in your health over time. Let's say, for example, when you complete your annual wellness visit, you are also afforded the opportunity through the NHI Bahamas program, laboratory testing, And so those laboratory tests, you'll be able to have access to your results on the electronic health record platform. And you'll be able to see what was my HbA1c levels 5 years ago compared to now. What was it a year ago? What was my cholesterol levels? How was my liver and kidney function 2 years ago compared to now? And so you're able to monitor and track those changes in your health over a period of time. It helps you to create a complete picture of your well-being. And so we are partnering with you to promote health and wellness, as well as to encourage you to go and get your annual wellness visits completed for this year and even beyond. And so, Ms. Knowles, congratulations. We'll be in contact, and I'll make sure that your gift is delivered to you. And so, should you need to contact us, if you are trying to book your annual wellness visits and you're having your annual wellness visit for the year and you're having difficulty acquiring an appointment time in a timely fashion, feel free to contact us, info@nhibahamas.gov.bs. That's our email address. You can give us a call, 396-8500. Our benefits and enrollment team will assist you with rectifying that issue. You can also WhatsApp us at 813-2800. And then follow us on social media, like our pages, share the content that our marketing team would post and produce for us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And on all of those platforms, just type in NHI Bahamas in the search engine. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your engagement. We appreciate you, and look out for more information for our April session of our April installment of the beneficiary educational session. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Take care.